Welcome back to the Andrew Tate Show by GSMC Sports. In the first segment, we were talking about Dan Hurley's decision to not join the Lakers as head coach. Moving on, sticking with basketball, but moving on to Game 2 between the Boston Celtics and the Dallas Mavericks. Let me just go ahead and get that set up. Sorry, pardon me.
Yeah.
Clicking on weird things. Give me just a second. Here we go. All right, there we go.
Having some technical difficulties.
Well, you know, when you push something and it doesn't push, okay. The Boston Celtics overcame a stellar performance from Luka Dončić to win Game 2 of the NBA Finals, defeating the Dallas Mavericks 105-98 and taking a commanding 2-0 series lead. Despite Doncic's 32-point triple-double, which included 11 rebounds and 11 assists, the Celtics' balanced attack and clutch defensive plays proved decisive. The game was closely contested in the first half, with Doncic scoring 23 points and Kyrie Irving adding 10 by halftime. However, Boston still managed to lead 54-51 at the break, despite poor three-point shooting, 3 of 15. The Celtics turned up their defensive intensity in the third quarter, capitalizing on Dallas turnovers to extend their lead to 83-74. Peyton Pritchard's remarkable three-pointer capped the quarter, further solidifying Boston's control. In the fourth quarter, the Celtics defense continued to dominate and their three-point shooting improved. Derrick White's critical block on P.J. Washington in the final minute stymied a potential Dallas comeback. Jrue Holiday led the Celtics with 26 points and 11 rebounds, while Jaylen Brown contributed 21 points, 7 assists, and 3 steals. Jason Tatum, despite struggling with his shot, added 18 points, 12 assists, and 9 rebounds. White also had a strong performance, finishing with 18 points and 2 crucial blocks. The Mavericks supporting cast struggled, with Irving only scoring 6 points in the second half and missing all 3 of his three-point attempts. Dallas also faltered at the free throw line, converting just 16 of 24 attempts compared to Boston's 19 of 20. The series now shifts to Dallas for Game 3, where the Mavericks will need to address their shooting woes and free throw struggles to stay competitive. With a historic 86.1% success rate for teams leading 2-0 in the finals, the Celtics are in a strong position. However, the potential absence of Kristaps Porziņģis, who left the game late with a possible calf injury, could impact Boston's dynamics in the upcoming games. 2-0, Tate, what does Dallas have to do to stay in this?
Well, the first thing they got to do is they got to win this next game. I mean, because if they lose this next game, it is over. I mean, this thing just wrap it up. Right now, with the way things are going, I've been looking at this as I got Dallas winning. Dallas winning the next game, losing the next 2 for a gentleman's sweep. That's a shame to say that, because I feel like Dallas is good enough to compete with the Celtics, but have just come in incredibly flat. The key to the Dallas Mavericks making a comeback is you have to get more out of Kyrie. 6 points in the second half is absolutely, it can't happen. There's no excuse for that to happen. In order for Dallas to make a comeback, you're going to need the two-headed monster of Luka and Kyrie to perform. If Kyrie performs and Luka doesn't, it's over. If Luka keeps going the way he's going, but Kyrie doesn't perform, it's over. Also, I don't know what has happened to Dallas. Throughout these playoffs, Dallas has been, and even ending the year, Dallas has been one of the best defensive teams in basketball. And I feel like it's kind of gone out the window against the Celtics. And I don't understand why. Their defensive slid off, and their offensive output has dramatically dropped off. When you look around here and you look at these numbers and you say, Luka, who has been doing everything under the sun for Dallas, Luka is the highest scoring player in the finals, okay? But the second highest, third, fourth, fifth, sixth highest player scorer. They're all Celtics. Celtics are outperforming the Dallas Mavericks. Outside of Luka, the entire team is outperforming them. Kyrie should be right up there, at least getting 25 a game. You're gonna have to have nights like that in order for them to make a comeback. Now, I do see and hope that them going home, the first two games were in Boston after a long layoff. Now they get to go home cooking, get back into the zone, get back into the right mindset, and then make a run. It definitely 100% helped that Kristaps Porziņģis may not be playing, leaving with the calf strain. That is a key because Kristaps has shown to be a major factor in why the Celtics are dominating the Dallas Mavericks. And so with Kyrie not performing well and Luka Dončić adding Luka, it's just been too much. Going forward, Kyrie has to perform, needing at least 25, and Luka being out. That's the reason why I lean toward Dallas winning game 3. But then from there, what happens? But if they for some reason they lose game 3, it could be a sweep. And that's so excited about these finals and expecting so much, especially with Dallas's. I'm looking at it like, okay, Dallas's defense. It's been one of the best, if not the best, in the NBA. The latter part of the season and into the playoffs. Kyrie and Luka are playing together. They're finally clicking. I thought, okay, this is going to be a 7-game series. This is anyone's series, and it's been anything but that. It has just been the Celtics have been a better. It's like the Celtics have the two big stars, or you had Luka. Porziņģis as third. The Celtics have just been the better team offensively, defensively. They're the deeper team. It's been a blowout pretty much. And if the Mavericks do not figure out some way to win game 3, this is going to be a sweep. I'm hoping that being home, that kind of energizes a lot of teams. And so to make this a series, because if they go down, this is over.
Jrue Holiday had a good performance this game. Do you think if he can sustain that level of performance and Kristaps Porziņģis is not in this next game, or how does that affect the future?
Well, Jrue Holiday, right now, Jrue Holiday has a chance to be Finals MVP. It's one of those things where the Celtics are just balling. They're from 1 through 5. The Celtics have just been the better team. I don't know what you can do if Dallas cannot figure out how to kind of bolster what they've been doing. Improve. The first thing is defensively. They have to crack down defensively. And then they have to figure out a way to get Kyrie. If you don't do those two things, there's not a matchup there that the Celtics will exploit them in every aspect of the game. It just seems like everywhere the Celtics are out coaching them. Their stars are outperforming them. Defensively, they're shutting them down. It feels like they've adopted an approach that we're going to let Luka get his. but nobody else is. And it's an effective approach because Luka has the most points in this playoffs. But what good is it doing them for Luka to go off, but nobody else to help? And they keep dropping games. And so that's the reason why a team like this that's part of the reason why Kyrie is there. He's a veteran presence that's supposed to step up, has experience in finals, have experience in hitting clutch shots. Kyrie needs to be that leader that everyone rallies behind. And he's been everything but that in the finals. He's been that in the playoffs. Throughout the Western Conference Finals and throughout the Western Conference playoffs, Kyrie has been a pivotal part of the Dallas Mavericks. Dallas has to figure out, how do we get Kyrie involved so that we can turn things around? This game, the saying nothing's happened until a team loses a game at home. Well, it's 80-something%, 82% of, if you go down
86.1%.
86.1%. They've lost the first two games, and it's an 86.1% chance that the Celtics are going to win this. They have no choice. They have to put everything on the line. It's do or die for them. If they don't win this one, you think it's bad down 2-0. How bad is it down 3-0?
Well, that's what we found out last a week or so ago, right?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Well, we are going to go ahead and take our second break of this episode. When we come back, we'll be still talking about basketball, but this time Caitlin Clark not making this year's Olympic team. So stick around. You are tuned into the Andrew Tate Show by GSMC Sports, and we will be right back.